Now in this video we'll talk about the story and the structure of the great poem The Night in the Panther Skin. In a nutshell, the story of the great poem The Night in the Panther Skin is about the adventures of two knights. The first knight is the hero of the poem, is called The Knight in the Panther Skin. His name is Tariel, and the second one is Aftandil, is the commander of the Arab armies. And the story can be divided into two parts. The first part is Aftandil's quest for Tariel, the titular The Night in the Panther Skin, and the second part is Aftandil's quest for Nestan Darajan, Tariel's love. So the first part is the search for Tariel. In the first part, the king of Arabia, Rustavan, has no sons and confers the kingship on his only daughter, the beautiful and wise Tinatin. She has a tender affection for Aftandil, the knight and commander-in-chief of Rustavan's armies. One day, Aftandil challenges King Rustavan to a hunting competition. After 3 days of shooting game, they encounter a knight crying by a river. He is dressed in a panther skin and kills the slaves sent by the king to contact him, then disappears. Rustavan sends parties across the world to search for the mysterious knight, but becomes disheartened when he fails. Tinatin asks Aftandil to find the strange knight in 3 years, promising him her hand in marriage in return. After 2 years and 9 months of searching, Aftandil finds the knight in the panther skin hiding in a cave with only a maiden for company. His name is Tariel, son of King Saridan, who has the 7th kingdom of India. He had served as heir to King Parsedan, king of the other 6 kingdoms of India, for many years before falling in love with Parsedan's daughter, Nestan Darajan. Tariel wages war with the Katavians to earn the favor of Nestan, but is dismayed to learn that she has already been promised to the Khwarazmian prince. Tariel couldn't bear the idea of her marriage and at Nestan's request he killed the suitor. The princess was placed on a boat and set adrift on the seas. Despite Tariel's lengthy search for his love, he couldn't find her. Later, he met Nuruddin Pridon, ruler of Mugazanzar, who told him that Nestan was alive but trapped on a distant boat. Tariel retired to a cave to live in the wilderness with Asmat, the former servant and messenger of Nestan. Moved by this story, Aftandil promises his friendship and brotherhood to Tariel and agrees to help him find his love, Nestan Darajan. Aftandil returns home to Arabia and tells Tinatin the story of Tariel, and against King Rustavan's wishes, he returns to his new friend Tariel. So we finished with the first part of the story. The second part is the search for Nestan Darajan, Tariel's beloved. In the second part of Tandil, then leaves Tariel to go to the kingdom of Pridon, where he doesn't hear anything new about the stan. Continuing his quest, he arrives in the city of Kulansharo. He meets Patman, the wife of the chief Hussein, who falls in love with him. Aftandil, sensing she knows the fate of Nestan, succumbs to Patman's seduction. She tells him she has been keeping Nestan at her place, and as Nestan was promised to the king's son, she helped her escape, but in her flight, Nestan was abducted by Kaji, the demon king. Aftandil then returns home to Pridon and to the cave of Tariel. And later, all three, Aftandil, Tariel, and Pridon, all three friends decide to go to the country of Kaji with an army of 300 men to find and deliver Nestan. When she is released, all return to Arabia, where King Mustavan forgives Aftandil his flight and breaking the king's order. They all celebrate the marriage of the later Aftandil with the king's only daughter, Tinatin. They then leave for India, where Tariel marries his love Nestan. Pridon also returns to his homeland, and the three friends reign happily with prosperity and generosity in their own respective realms. So we finish with the story of the great poem, The Knight in the Panther Skin. In the next step, I will talk about the structure of the great poem, The Knight in the Panther Skin. Actually, the poem consists of 1669 stanzas. Each stanza consists of 4 lines, and every line consists of 16 syllables. Okay? And the structure of the 16 syllables in each line could be either 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, or 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Actually, this type of structure is named Shairi. A Shairi is the name of a particular poetic form. It was used by the great Georgian poet Shotor Stoveli in the great poem, The Knight in the Panther Skin. Actually, the Shairi consists of 4 16-syllable lines. As I already mentioned, the stanza, each stanza out of the 1669 stanzas, each stanza consists of 4 lines, and each line consists of 16 syllables. Okay? I repeat again, it consists of 4 16-syllable lines with says Yora, that is to say with a comma. It is a break between the 8 syllable and the 9 syllables. Okay, so here we have in each stanza 4 lines, and each line consists of 16 syllables, and we have a comma, a break between the 8 syllable and the 9 syllable. So we have 2 types of Shairi. the first type of Shairi is Marali Shairi. That is to say, Marali is I, so it is I Shairi. In Marali Shairi, that is to say, in I Shairi, lines are broken into 4 sections of 4 syllables. With a caesura, that is to say, with a comma after the second section. So here, each line consists of 16 syllables, and the line is broken into 4 segments. And in Marali Shairi, the 4 segments are each segment consists of 4 syllables. So it is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And we have a break, a comma between the 8th syllable and the 9th syllable. Okay, I repeat again. This is the Marali Shairi, I Shairi. The lines are broken into 4 sections of 4 syllables. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4 sections, and each section consists of 4 syllables. So it is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and we have a break after the second section. So this is the first type of Shairi, and we also have the second type of Shairi, that is the Dabali Shairi. That is to say, the Bali is low, so it is low Shairi. In the Bali Shairi, each line is broken into 4 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the first segment consists of 5 syllables, then the second segment consists of 3 syllables, then the third segment consists of 5 syllables, and finally the fourth segment consists of 3 syllables. So in the Bali Shairi or Low Shairi, the line is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. Okay, and we have a break after the second section. That is to say, after the 8th syllable, between the 8th and 9th syllable, we have a break. Okay. So I repeat again, the structure of the 16 syllables in each line could be either 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, that is the Bali Shairi or Low Shairi, or 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. In the second type of Shairi, that is to say, in the Marali Shairi, each line that consists of 16 syllables is broken into 4 segments, and each segment consists of 4 syllables. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and we have a comma, a break after the second segment. Okay, and we also have the concept of fast pace, or this, the second concept is slow pace. What is fast pace? When things that happened during a long period of time is mentioned in one stanza, then the first of the story and also the first of the stanza is fast. I'll repeat again. Fast pace is when things that happened during a long period of time is mentioned in the stanza, then the first of the stanza is fast. Okay? And we have the second concept that is slow pace. Slow pace is when the poet quoting the things of someone, then it happened at a certain minute, so the pace of the story is slow. So when you quote the things of someone, quoting things of someone, it happens at a second at the specific moment, and therefore the pace of the story and also of the stanza is slow. Okay? So I repeat again, slow pace is when the poet quoting the things of someone, then the pace of the story and also the pace of the stanza is slow. And as I already mentioned before, fast pace is when things that happened during a long period of time is mentioned in the stanza, then the pace of the stanza is also the pace of the story is fast. Okay? So when the pace of the story is fast, then the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables of the last word at line. Okay, so if the pace of the story is fast, so the pace of the stanza is also fast, then the structure of the 16 syllables in each line of the stanza is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables of the last word in line. Okay, whereas when the pace of the story is slow, for example, if we have a quoting on someone, if the stanza quotes the things that someone said, then the pace of the stanza and the story is slow pace, and the structure of the 16 syllables will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on 3 syllables of the last word at line. Okay, I repeat again, if the pace of the story is fast, then the rhyme and the structure of the 16 syllables in each line of the stanza is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables of the last word in line. And if the pace of the story and also the pace of the stanza is slow, for example, if the stanza quotes the things that someone said, then the pace of the stanza is slow, and the structure of the 16 syllables will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on 3 syllables of the last word of the line. So in the next step, I will give you an example of fast pace and slow pace. Okay, so here we have stanza number 791. Stanza 791 presents aphorism about love. What is aphorism? An aphorism is a concise saying that expresses a general truth, principle, or insightful diagnosis that is said or written in a laconic and catchy manner. Okay, so in stanza 791 we have aphorism about love. So first of all, I will read the stanza, the translation of the stanza into English, and then I will read it in the Georgian language, and we'll analyze this stanza. Number 791. I repeat again that the stanza presents aphorism about love. Thou hast read how the apostles write of love, how they speak of it, how they praise it. Know thou it, and harmonize thy knowledge. Love exalteth us. This is as it were the tinkling burden of their song. If thou conceive not this, how can I convince ignorant men? Okay. So now I will read the stanza in the Georgian language, and we will analyze the stanza. Here it is, stanza 791. צדיק יתחפש סירבה רוסה מוציא כולני רגואר צרן ותתרויין ותקבן צן צנובני מהפרן סירבה רולי אגווה מרלבס ותג'רואני אמס ז'ררן שנרג'ר חר וסתבלל ליקצני ותמצא שבג'רן. Okay, so in the first line, the first word in the first line is tzagikit chavs. So the first word consists of 4 syllables. Then the second word in the first line of stanza 791 is sir va rul sa. It also consists of 4 syllables. Then the third word of line 1 is mo chi kul ni. It consists of 4 syllables. So it is 4 plus 4 plus 4. And finally, the last 2 words is ragwar tseren. Ragwar consists of 2 syllables. Tseren consists of also 2 syllables. So in total, the 2 words consist of 4 syllables. So the first line, that of course consists of 16 syllables, it is broken into 4 segments. Each segment consists of 4 syllables. It is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. and the rhyming is on 2 syllables. Then the 2 syllables are eren. Eren consists of 2 syllables. So here the rhyming is on 2 syllables, because the last word in line number 1 is eren, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables, eren. The last word in the second line is mia peren, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables, that is to say, eren. In the third line, the last word is jreren, and the rhyming is also on 2 syllables, that is to say, eren. And finally, in line number 4, the last word is sheva jeren, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables, that is to say, eren. Okay? So we found that in the structure of the 16 syllables in line number 1 is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables, eren. Then in the second line of stanza 791, we have the 2 first words, wheat, itrian. Wheat consists of 1 syllable, itrian consists of 3 syllables, so in total the 2 words consist of 4 syllables. Okay, so the first segment consists of 4 syllables. Then we have the second segment, that is to say, the second 2 words are wheat, akeben. Wheat consists of 1 syllable, and akeben consists of 3 syllables, so in total the 2 words wheat, akeben consists of 4 syllables. So the second segment consists of 4 syllables also. Then we have the next 2 words that are tsan, tsnobani. Tsan consists of 1 syllable, tsnobani consists of 3 syllables. So in total, those 2 words, tsan, tsnobani, consist of 4 syllables. So the third segment also consists of 4 syllables. And finally, the last word in the second line of stanza 791 is mi a peren. This word consists of 4 syllables. So in conclusion, we can say that line number 2 is broken into 4 segments, and each segment consists of 4 syllables. So it is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables that are eren. The last word is mia peren, and the ending of the last word is eren, and the rhyming is on those 2 syllables, eren. Then we have line number 3. In line number 3, the first word is sir wa ruli. This word consists of 4 syllables. Then we have the second word of line number 3, that is ag wa mar lebs. Ag wa mar lebs consists of 4 syllables. So it is 4 plus 4. The third segment consists of 2 words, that is wheat, ejruani. Wheat consists of 1 syllable, ejruani consists of 3 syllables. So in total, the 2 words wheat, ejruani consist of 4 syllables. And finally, the last 2 words of line number 3 is amas, that consists of 2 syllables. And the last word is jreren. It also consists of 2 syllables. So in total, the last 2 words of line number 3 consist of 4 syllables. So in conclusion, we can say that line number 3 is also broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And the rhyming is in the last 2 syllables, of the last word. The last word is joueren, and the rhyming is eren. Eren consists of 2 syllables. And finally, we have line number 4. In line number 4, the first segment is shen al jer har. It consists of 4 words. Each word consists of 1 syllable. Shen consists of 1 syllable, ar consists of 1 syllable, jer consists of 1 syllable, and har consists of 1 syllable. So those 2 words are considered as 1 unit. So the first segment consists of 4 syllables. Then we have the fifth word in line number 4 is ustavlelni. Ustavlelni consists of 4 syllables. Okay, then the third segment consists of 2 words. Katsni consists of 2 syllables. Vitmza also consists of 2 syllables. So in total, the third segment consists also of 4 syllables. And finally, the last word of line number 4 is she va je ren. It consists of 4 syllables. Again, line 4 is broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 syllables, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word. The last word of line number 4 is sheva jeren, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables of the last word, that is to say, on eren. So, in conclusion, we can say that stanza number 791 is in the Marali Shairi or I Shairi, that is to say, each line is broken into 4 segments of 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables of the last word. Again, the last word in the second line is tseren, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables, that is to say, on eren. The last word of the second line is mia peren, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables, that is to say, on eren. In the third line, the last word is jreren, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables, that is to say, is eren. The rhyming is eren. And in line number 4, the last word is sheva jeren, and the rhyming is on the last 2 syllables, that is to say, the last 2 syllables are eren. Okay? So, stanza number 791 is in the fast pace. The structure of the syllables in each line is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And the rhyming is on 2 syllables of the last word in each line. That is to say, eren, 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 and eren. Okay? Then we have stanza 802. Here, the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. That is to say, it is the slow pace, and therefore it is Dabali Shairi, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. The rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, that is to say, the last 3 syllables in each line is Obelman. Obelman, 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 and Obelman. So actually, stanza 802 is the quoting of the things that Avtandil told to King Rustevan before he traveled to India to meet with Tariel. And actually, Oftadil told to King Mustavan that if something will happen to me during the journey to India to meet Tariel, and I will die and no one can find my body, at least have a pity on me and remind my name in a good manner. Okay? So I will read the stanza in the English, then in the Georgian, and we'll analyze the stanza. As I've already mentioned before, when we have a quoting of someone, here in stanza 802, there is the quoting of Aftandil, the things that Aftandil told to King Rustavan before he traveled to India to meet Tariel. Quoting of someone is always slow pace, and therefore the 16 syllables in each line will be broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on 3 syllables. In this case it is Obelman, 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 and Obelman. So I'll read the stanza in English and then in the Georgian language, and we'll analyze the stanza. So here in the first line of stanza 802, we have here, if fate, the destroyer of all, destroy me, an orphan I shall die, traveling unmourned by parent, nor will those who brought me up, nor the friend whom I trust enshroud me, then indeed will you, merciful, tender heart, have pity on me. Okay? Now I'll read the stanza in the Georgian language. תושת וטרומן דמם חוס, הובלת דמם חובלמן, גריבי מוקדה גריבת, ורדמי תירוס בשובלמן, ורר שמסו דרון דרזדילתה דברצה מיסן דובלמן, מונשמיץ חלוס תקנמן והולמן מוצעלם לובלמן, הולמן מוצעלם לובלמן. So, in the first line of stanza 802, we have the first 2 words that are tu sachut roman. Tu consists of 1 syllable. Sachut roman consists of, again, sachut roman consists of 4 syllables. So in total, the first 2 words of line number 1 consist of 5 syllables. So the first segment of line number 1 consists of 5 syllables. Then the third word of line number 1 is da mam chos. The word da mam chos consists of 3 syllables. So the second segment of line number 1 consists of 3 syllables. Then we have ovelta da mam. Damam. Ovelta consists of 2 syllables and damam consists of 2 syllables. So in total, in the first segment we have 5 syllables, and finally the fourth segment is Obelman. And Obelman is actually consists of 3 syllables, Obelman. So the structure of the 16 syllables in line number 1 is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. Why? Because it is slow pace, and when because we are quoting the poet quotes the things that Avtandil told to King Ostevan, then quoting, whenever you have quoting in the stanza, then it is in the slow pace, and therefore the structure of the syllables in each line should be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on 3 syllables. Here the 3 syllables are O, Bel, Man. In the first line we have Obelman, in the second line we have Oberman, in the third line Obelman, and the fourth line Obelman. The last word is the end of the last word in each line is Obelman. Therefore the rhyming is on 3 syllables. Okay, then we have the second line of stanza 802 is Gharibi Mawqde. Gharibi consists of 3 syllables. Mawqde consists of 2 syllables. So the first 2 words consist of 5 syllables. Then we have the third word of line number 2 is Gharibi. Gharibi consists of 3 syllables. Okay. Then we have a comma, a break, and after that we have here Ver Damitiros. Ver consists of 1 syllable, Damitiros consists of 4 syllables. So Ver Damitiros in total consists of 5 syllables. That is to say, the third segment consists of 5 syllables, and finally the last word of stanza number 2, the second line, is Mshobelman. Okay, and the last 3 syllables of the last word is Obelman. So the structure of the 16 syllables in the second line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on the last 3 syllables, that is to say, on Obelman. Okay, then we have the third line. In the third line, the first 2 words is Verar Shem Sud Ron. Verar consists of 2 syllables. Shem Sud Ron consists of 3 syllables. So in total, the first 2 words of line number 3 consist of 5 syllables. Then we have Das Dilta. Das Dilta consists of 3 syllables. So we have here 5 plus 3. Then we have Da Verza Misand. Da consists of 1 syllable. Verza consists of 2 syllables. And Misand also consists of 2 syllables. So it is 2 plus 2 plus 1. So the third segment consists of 5 syllables. So it is 5 plus 3 plus 5. And finally, the last segment is Obelman. Obelman consists of 3 syllables. So the 16 syllables in the third line are divided to 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. 4 segments. The first segment is 5. The second segment consists of 3 syllables. The third segment consists of 5 syllables, and finally the last segment, the fourth segment, consists of 3 syllables. Again, the rhyming is on 3 syllables, that is to say, on the syllables O, Bel, Man. Okay? And finally, we have line number 4. The first 2 words are Mun Shemitzralos. Mun consists of 1 syllable. Shemitzralos consists of 4 syllables. So in total, the first 2 words consist of 5 syllables. Then we have the third word of line number 4 in stanza 802 is Tkwen Man We. Tkwen Man We consists of 3 syllables. So it is 5 plus 3. Then we have Kulman Motzale. Motzalem. Kulman consists of 2 syllables. Kalem consists of 3 syllables, so 2 plus 3 is 5. So here we have 5 plus 3 plus 5. And finally, in the fourth segment, we have Obelman that consists of 3 syllables. Again, the fourth line of stanza 802 is broken into 4 segments of 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3. And again, the rhyming is on 3 syllables, that is to say, Obelman. Okay, so because of the fact that in stanza 802, it is the quoting of the things that Aftandil said to King Rustavan, then when the poet quoting the things of someone, then it is in a slow pace, and whenever the story is in a slow pace, then the rhyming, the structure of the 16 syllables in each line will be 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming will be on the last 3 syllables of the last word in each line. In this case is Obelman, 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 and Obelman. Okay? And the fifth characteristic of the structure of the poem is that the poet repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word in each line. Repeat again, the poet repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word in each line. So we'll take, for example, stanza 802. The last word in line number 1 is Damam Hobelman. Okay, this word consists of 2, 4, 6. This word Damam Hobelman consists of 13 letters, and the repetition is on the last 7 letters. The last 7 letters are Obelman. Obelman, the first letter is O, the second letter is B, the third letter is A, the fourth letter is L, the fifth letter is M, the sixth letter is A, and the seventh letter is N. Okay, so in stanza 802, the poet repeats on the last 7 letters of the last word in each line. You can see that in the first line, the last word, Damam Hobelman, consists of 13 letters, and he repeats on the last 7 letters, that is to say, on the letters Obelman, that are O, B, A, L, M, A, and N. Then, in the second line, the last word is Mshobelman. The word Mshobelman consists of 9 letters, and the repetition is on the last 7 letters, that is to say Obelman. Repeat again, the letters of Obelman is O, B, A, L, M, A, N. And then in the third line, the last word of the third line is Misan Dobelman. Misan Dobelman, 2, 5, 6. This word Misan Dobelman consists of 13 letters, and the repetition is on Obelman. As I already mentioned, Obelman consists of 7 letters. So here we have Obelman, Obelman, and Obelman. You can see that the repetition is on 7 letters of the last word in each line. And finally, in line number 4, the last word is Motzale Mlobelman. Actually, the word Motzale Mlobelman, we have 3 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The word Motzalem Lobelman consists of 17 letters, and the repetition is on the last 7 letters, that is to say, Obelman. Okay, so in stanza 802, the poet repeats on the last 7 letters of the last word in each line. You have here Obelman, 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 and Obelman. Okay? We will take also stanza number 791. The last word of the first line is Tseren. The word Tseren consists of 5 letters, and the repetition is on the last 4 letters. The last 4 letters is Eren. That is to say, the first letter is A, the second letter is R, the third letter is A, and the fourth letter is N. So the repetition is on 4 words. Then, in the second line, the last word of the second line is Mia Peren. The word Mia Peren consists of 2, 4, 8 letters, and again the repetition is on the last 4 letters, that is to say Eren, that consists the letters A, R, A, and N. Okay, in line number 3, the last word is Jreren. The word Jreren consists of 6 letters, and the repetition is on the last 4 letters, that is to say, on letters A, R, A, and N. And finally, the last word of the line number 4 is Shevajeren. The word Shevajeren, 2, 4, 5, consists of 9 letters, and the repetition is on the last 4 letters, that is to say Eren, that is to say A, R, A, and N. So in conclusion, in stanza number 791, the repetition is on the last 4 letters of the last word in each line, while in stanza 802, the repetition is on the last 7 letters of the last word in each line. Obelman, 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 and Obelman. Okay, I'll give you another example from stanza number 2. Stanza number 2, it is the introduction to the poem. In stanza number 2, the poet praises God that created the universe, and he requests from God that he will have a love that is that we will have true love, and that God will forgive his sins. So that is the content of stanza number 2. So in the first step, I will read the stanza in English, then I will read it in Georgian language, and we will analyze stanza number 2. The translation to English is as follows. O one God, thou didst create the face of every form. Shield me, give me mastery to trample on Satan. Give me the longing of lovers, lasting even unto death. Lightening of the burden of sins I must bear thither with me. Okay, that is the stanza in English translation. Now I will read the stanza in the Georgian language. and we'll analyze the stanza. Merto erto, Shenshekmen Sake Oblisa Tanisa, Shem Damipare, Zleva Metz Dart Gunvat Mesatanisa, Momets Mijnurta Survili, Sigdidme Gasatanisa, Sodvata Shesubukeba, Montana Gasatanisa. Okay, so here the pace of the stanza is slow pace, therefore the structure of the syllables in each line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on 3 syllables of the last word in each line. The rhyming is on the 3 syllables ta, ni, sa. So it is Tanisa, 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 and Tanisa. Okay? So it is actually Dabali Shari, Lo Shari, and therefore the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on 3 syllables of the last word in each line. Tanisa, 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 and Tanisa. Now we'll check on how many letters the poet repeats on this stanza. I repeat again that the poet repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word in each line. We have already found out that in stanza 802 the repetition is on the last 7 letters. In stanza 791 the repetition is on the last 4 letters of the last word in each line. Now we'll see on how many letters the poet repeats on stanza number 2. The last word in the first line is Tanisa, and it consists of 6 letters, T, A, N, E, S, and A. So he repeats on all the last word of the first line. That is to say, he repeats on the 6 letters in stanza number 2. We'll check it on line number 2. The last letter, the last word of line number 2 is Satanisa. Satanisa is the Satan. Actually, the word Satanisa consists of 8 letters, and the repetition is on 6 letters, Tanisa. So we have here Tanisa and Tanisa. While in line number 3, the last word of line number 3 consists, the last word is Gasatanisa. The word Gasatanisa consists of 10 letters. Okay? And the repetition is on the last 6 letters, that is to say, Tanisa. The letters Tanisa, the letters of Tanisa is T, A, N, E, S, and A. And finally, the last word in line number 4 is Satanisa. This word Satanisa consists of 10 letters, and the repetition is on the last 6 letters of this word, Satanisa. That is to say, Tanisa, again, it is T, A, N, E, S, and A. So in conclusion, we can summarize and say that in stanza number 2, the poet repeats on 6 letters of the last word in each line. Tanisa, 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 and Tanisa. While in stanza number 802, the poet repeats on the last 7 letters of the last word in each line. That is to say, here, Obelman, 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 and Obelman. And finally, in stanza number 791, the poet repeats on the last 4 letters of the last word in each line. Eren, 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 and Eren. And the 4 letters are A, R, A, and N. Okay? So I repeat Again, on the 5 characteristics that the structure of the poem, of this great poem, consists of. First of all, as I already mentioned before, the poet consists of 1669 stanzas, and each stanza consists of 4 lines. And every line consists of 16 syllables. Okay, every line consists of 16 syllables exactly. And the structure of the 16 syllables in each line could be either 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 or 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And first pace is when things that happened during a long period of time is mentioned in one stanza, then the first of the story and the first of the stanza is fast pace, while slow pace is when the poet is quoting the things of someone, then it happened at a certain minute, so the pace of the story is slow. For example, in stanza 802, the poet is quoting the things that Aftandil told to King Rustevan before he traveled to India to meet Tariel, and therefore stanza 802 is in a slow pace, and therefore I will say it in the next here. The third characteristic of the poem is that when the pace of the story is fast, then the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and the rhyming is on 2 syllables of the last word at line. Whereas when the pace of the story is slow, then the structure of the 16 syllables in each line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on 3 syllables of the last word at line. So you can see here in stanza 802, the poet is quoting the things that Aftandil told to Rustevan before the travel to India to meet Tariel. So quoting of someone, here it is a slow pace, and therefore the structure of the syllables in each line is 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, and the rhyming is on 3 syllables. In stanza 802, the 3 syllables are Obelman, 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 and Obelman. Okay, and finally, characteristic number 5 of the poem is that the poet repeats at least on the last 3 letters of the last word in line. In stanza 802, the repetition is on 6 letters of the last word in each line, and the repetition is on 7 letters. Obelman, we have the letter O, B, A, L, M, A, and N, so it is 7 letters, while in stanza 791, the repetition is on the last 4 letters of the last word in each line. Eren, 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 and Eren. Eren consists of 4 letters, and the letters are A, R, A, and N. And finally, in stanza number 2, the poet repeats on the last 6 letters of the last word in each line, and the letters are Tanisa, 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 and Tanisa. Tanisa consists of 6 letters that are T, A, N, E, S, and A. Okay, so actually, to combine all 5 of this characteristic in one poem is an almost impossible task, but the great poet Shooter Stavelli managed to do it, and we can read and enjoy this masterpiece, which is considered one of the most genius poems written by human beings. Okay, thank you very much.